You're listening to the Millennial Minute Podcast, giving this generation what they want to hear.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Rod coming to you with a brand new episode of the Millennial Minute Podcast. Hope y'all are feeling well. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving and you're just waking up from the itis this week. Let's go around the horn and let's reintroduce the boys plus girl we got. Let's start off with T. Say what's up to the people.
Howdy.
Alif.
Yo.
Speaks.
Hey, shout out Millennial Minute listeners.
Chabuzo.
Happy holidays, y'all.
Happy
Santa, is that you?
Yeah. Santa's black.
Santa is black. That's common knowledge.
Yes, he got the beard going. Hotep beams. Santa was black. So, and we also got to shout out our boys over at Productive Culture. If you're looking for production, mixing, sound design, or you just want to start your podcast like the boys plus girl on this podcast, hit up Productive Culture. They've hooked us up, especially through this pandemic, letting us do it on Zoom where we're staying COVID-free, Rona-free. Shout out to the boys. So they've hooked us up. They've helped us take our podcast to a whole nother level with the audio. And if you're thinking about starting your rap career or just a podcast, stop thinking about it. It's about to be 2021, y'all. It's time to jump on it, get on those dreams, start getting paid. And if you decide the time is right, you can find them at productiveculture.com/podcast or on Instagram at productiveculture. Let them know the Millennial Minute crew sent you, and you will get hooked up, guys. Now, in the spirit of giving, we got some big news going on with President-elect Joe Biden. One of the things that he was campaigning for when he was running for president was student loan forgiveness. Now, there are a lot of details that we won't really go in depth on because, it's complex and we're not economists. We're not going to give you all the numbers and things like that. But
Speak
we're
for
here
yourself.
I forgot T.
Yes.
T the economist.
Thank you.
I forgot that T does research.
T did her research on this topic. So we're just gonna go in. We're gonna talk about student loan debt. T, get us into the minute. Should student loan debt be forgiven?
We got a minute. Okay, just kidding. We have a minute. We'll go Alif, Chips, Bri, Speaks, and then Rod and me. Ready? Go.
I'm not sure if forgiving student loan debt solves the problem. Next.
I am all for forgiving student loan debt.
I do think that it does help a lot. So yeah, I'm a proponent for it.
I have a basic strategy. Forgive student loan debt. Watch OnlyFans subscriptions go up. I am for forgiveness.
I say forgive, especially during these hard times. Anything helps.
Pretty please, millennials are poor. We need money,
We have
please.
like 20 seconds. What the heck do we do?
How's everybody today?
Let's
How's
rap.
everybody's holiday?
Oh, okay, yeah, that too.
Uh-huh.
Let's rap and say about our holidays. Go.
Yo, Christmas
Holiday.
time.
Yo,
Christmas
In
time.
the air.
yo,
That's
Thanksgiving.
a rhyme.
Yo.
Christmas.
4 seconds. Go.
Santa
Christmas.
was black.
Go. And that's time.
Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. I can't give an outro to that. I don't know what happened there.
Good. I liked that one.
No, burr ad lib. Chips was just looking confused and disgusted.
He's like, y'all really just disappointed me.
Chibs has just put in his 2 weeks on the podcast. He is leaving. Get him out.
Bye, Chibs.
So, Chibs, sorry, since we put you through that and your ears are clearly bleeding, explain to us why you think student loan debt should be absolved and why it should be forgiven, and put a leaf in his place.
All right, Big Daddy, I'm out to tell you some big facts right here. It's okay. It's okay, Lee. Forgot you.
Ooh, big facts.
Big Daddy.
So, basically, I'm kind of what we were talking about is that with student loan debt, it's such a burden on people. Like, most people who have student loan debt, like, you're in a pretty privileged place if you don't have any debt. I know there's a lot of people who like have gone like 4-year scholarships, or maybe their family put on a college fund when they were like babies, so they don't have to pay for college, you know. And the thing about that is that debt is just a huge anchor to anybody, like any type of debt, not just student debt, but like
anything,
credit card debt, or just like loans debt from getting like a house or like a small business or whatever. Like any type of debt is just a huge burden, and it prevents people from like opportunity, and like you can't be more like innovative. You can't like explore different options just because like you got to pay off like $400 a month. So
you can't. There's no way for you to. It postpones how long you can really start to.
Why not teach people to prevent themselves from putting themselves into these situations?
That is such a selfish statement to make.
That is.
Well, explain. Let Alif explain the statement first.
Okay, go for it. Before we go in, yeah, you're right.
I'm just saying, why not like teach, people from a younger age in our education systems and all that stuff, like what you should be taking loans for and how much for, like not to take something that you don't have a plan or you don't have a concrete plan of how to pay it back or something like that.
Okay.
All right. Can I ask this question? I just want to ask a really quick question, right? Because you do have a lot of people at 18 when we're forced to take out these loans. What would you say to someone who goes in to get a loan that has that education that you're talking about? They look over that loan and they're like, you know what? This is too much. I can't afford it. I can't afford to pay for this. Then what? Do they just not go to college?
Well, it's not just the person. It's also the system too. Like if you forgive student loan debt, right? Say that tomorrow we forgive student loan debt, right? All $1.5 trillion. Like that doesn't. I don't think that solves. Well, I'm not sure. Not that I think. I'm not sure if that solves problem at the root. Like what got us there in the first place, right? And I think what got us there in the first place is because school or public university or higher education is just ridiculously, outrageously overpriced for no reason. I think that's the first thing we need to address, rather than like, yes, forgiving student loan debt helps, but like I'm thinking that if we were to do that tomorrow, we'd find ourselves in the same situation again in just a matter of a few years because we didn't address the root cause of the problem.
I feel like you kind of jumped to a different point. I'm not just going to disagree with you on that point, but yeah, that wasn't the original point you made.
That was not 100%.
Yeah.
That
was great, but you backtracked so hard on that.
That was a hard reverse.
You had a skirt.
You did a complete 180.
Yeah. So, that was a very good point. That was a very unselfish point, and that was a very well thought out.
Yeah,
point.
Because y'all just like jump to conclusions.
Hey, don't let it look. Don't let us.
But at the same time, I think the way you phrased it first didn't make sense because you're like, well, why are people bringing themselves in?
It made sense.
No, it made sense. He said what he meant. And now he's like, well, I got backlash, so now I'm going to backtrack and recognize.
Don't put it on us.
Yeah.
Oh, no, yeah.
Put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Yeah.
I guess what I was saying.
100%.
Huh?
I didn't finish my thought when you guys cut me off.
No, but I think I had a question to your first point, and you did not answer that at all. Just jumped to a whole other point.
Yeah,
politician Alif.
The way you're putting on your Max Kellerman right now. That's what you're doing.
What?
Well, yeah, but I guess I just wanted to reiterate the point that Rod made, which is pretty much that, like you said, like, we will get to that second point because, like you said, that was a good point. But to Rod's previous point, he basically said that, like, what if someone actually did what you did, did what you said, they did the research, they made an educated choice, and they said that actually I cannot afford to take out this loan, or I do not want to put that burden onto myself.
Yes.
So what options do they have then? Are they not going to college then because they cannot afford it?
What is your suggestion to that, Mr. Alam?
I mean, I can see why a person would take a loan, but yes, they have no choice but to take a loan. But that just highlights the bigger issue of how our higher education system is so broken.
Okay, one, you're right. That definitely highlights that. But once again, in the previous thing, you said is that we need to update our educational system to make sure people are taking out smart loans. That still doesn't necessarily answer. You're saying that they have to do it? Because I thought they said if you have the public knowledge and your understanding of that, then there should be a way for you, if you have the know-how, in order to get around that. And you're saying that you're admitting that there's no way around that, correct?
I mean, I guess at this time, yeah, like there's no. If your intention is to go, because there's other things that you can do besides go to school, right? Like there's trades you can learn. There's like you can work for a few years, save money. I think like there are. I do think that like there are opportunities out there where you don't have to take a loan.
Okay.
I think the times are a little bit different, and now it's like you have to have a college degree in order to even get like a stupid front desk job at an office. So it's kind of like you can't really say that because now everybody needs a degree. It's not just people that are. You can't just go to like a trade school, you know what I mean, and then expect to get a job at an office or something.
I know plenty of people that have years of experience.
It's pay pretty well.
Yeah, no, we're not saying there's always going to be there's always going to be people that are, you know, not the average person or anything like that.
I think also it's almost forcing people who can't afford to college to not pursue something that they really want to do. You know, like if somebody wants to be a doctor, oh, you can't afford it, so go to trade school. Like that's kind of really messed up.
Also, that completely just goes against everything that America stands for, being able to pursue your passion, pursue your dream, make something of yourself. So
yes.
Yeah. So like I guess my point was like, should we be forgiving loans or should we be trying to change the root cause of the system?
Both.
Forgiving loans. Well, I mean, the system, yeah, but the topic is about forgiving loans.
Yeah.
I'll say this. I'll say that you have a section of people who do succeed without a college degree, but I think that they're the exception, not the rule. I don't think that anyone who takes that route will be as successful as, you know, those success stories that we see like on Instagram Reels. Like, oh, I just made $1 million selling real estate. Yeah, okay. You know, that's like 1 in 100. But when we're talking about what getting rid of these loans would do to people, it would free up money for them to put back into the economy, which is extremely important. You know, it would allow millennial minute, it would allow millennials to save more money. It would allow millennials to invest if they haven't invested already. It would allow millennials to trade things like Bitcoin or whatever because they would have just extra income, go to more restaurants, go movies. Instead of maybe renting as much, they'd be able to buy houses, buy property, start businesses.
It wouldn't be a situation where somebody who's already ahead or somebody who has been put in a family that is financially stable because they have a history of people that have went to like places maybe like Harvard, Yale, high you know, higher education places in higher education, and kind of been able to build that backbone. Because if you notice, if their families have gone to colleges or anything else like that, their mom, dad, or whatever, you'll start to notice a trend where like they also are being afforded to go to certain colleges because they were allowed to make that income based off of their degree and pursue everything. So it kind of puts us at college is maybe not necessarily like you don't necessarily need college to be successful, but it does help start a process that you can carry on in your family and start building familial, like, you know, wealth.
Yeah, I want to say two things for this. So I do think that a lot of like, I know like Rod said, for putting the exception to the rule, you know, I think most people have to take about like a little bit of loans in their undergraduate in order to like get through college. Sometimes it's not a lot. Sometimes maybe it's a few $1,000s, you know. And I think with undergraduate, there's a lot of opportunity to like get money from elsewhere through scholarships, through just like grants and whatnot. That's cool. But where the crippling debt comes in is through graduate school, because you get
Masters.
almost no help.
Your masters
So-
and everything else like that. It's tragic.
Yeah, that's when people get into like the hundreds of thousands of dollars in student loan debt.
Mhm.
You know, like one like law school. I know a law school can easily rack up to 100K. You know, same with
Shit.
like medical school. I didn't like Obama paying off student loans and while he was president. Like,
He might have.
I'm not sure.
We're not
I
sure
don't
though.
know.
I'm not
I
sure.
heard that somewhere. I heard like Obama. It took like a long time for him to do pay off the student loans. So, but what I'm saying is just that like the big bulk of it is for jobs that are supposed to be high paying. You know, these professional jobs are supposed to be like in the end rack up in like 100K in your annual salary, but people, even when they're high up there, they're still saddled with their student loan because it's so hard to pay that off.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah.
even with like these high paying jobs.
Yeah,
Exactly.
one reason that
After
is
Rod. And after Rod.
oh, one reason that is, Chips. I'm really glad you brought that up. My boy Yang. I've been reading his book, The War on Normal People. That's a shameless plug. Everybody go out and read it. But he was
Andrew Yang, sponsor the pod.
Andrew Yang, sponsor the pod. Come on the pod, man. We got you. So one thing that he had mentioned in that book was how what we're getting paid now as millennials doesn't add up to what our parents were making with or without a college degree, right? So inflation continues to go up, but the rate at which we're being paid is not matching the level of inflation. So when you look at like, oh, millennials, you guys can't afford student loans, you guys can't buy houses, you guys aren't starting families, you guys only care about avocado toast and like Instagram. It's like, in a sense, it's like, no, because we're not making the same dollar amount as like our parents were making.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you look at what our parents, like our grandparents were making compared to what our parents were making, it's like almost a 1-to-1 comparison. I think it was like $1 to like 0.9 something, right? Like it's pretty even.
Mm-hmm.
But if you look at to what our parents were making versus what we're making, we're like at 0.6
Oh, wow.
like cent or 0.60 cents to like what every dollar that they were making.
Whoa, I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, but
That's
the thing
insane.
is like we're making less, but inflation continues to rise.
So it keeps
things
putting
get-
people at a position of stagnant.
Exactly. And on top of that, the price of education that they were paying versus the price of education that we're paying has just shot through the roof.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of that touches on the point that Alif was talking about, like the system of like these private loans that we're taking out, like they get to make their own price. They get to name their price. It's not something that's federally regulated to say, hey, this is the amount that you can go up. Like if tomorrow they wake up and say, you know what, 1,000% interest on a loan just because we want to fuck around with you guys, they can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Like they set their own price, and like our generation and Gen Z and the generation after that will continue to get like fucked over by it until we understand like this is crippling Americans.
Well,
Yeah.
what is it? Well, isn't that to the person that hears that is like, well, we get to set our own prices. That's capitalism in a sense, isn't it? Free market.
In this place, as a matter of
but-
fact.
being
capital-
able. But I'm just saying, like, to somebody that hears that and says, well, there needs to be, you say, like, maybe they need to be somewhat regulated. It's like, well, America is built on capitalism. We can just charge whatever we want for whatever we want because we can. And that's
Well,
what we
that's-
like about
In a sense, that's greed. But to me, I think if you're like pro-capitalism, you would want to have people make money. You would want to have people to be able to stimulate the economy. You would want to have people, go out and ball out on Christmas
it. Mhm.
and buy.
I do
Also-
feel like with capitalism, it's just you're just trying to make as much money as quickly as possible. I don't think it's longevity or anything like that.
Exactly. That's
But
why.
that's just yeah. I do not think they're thinking that far ahead. They just want to make as much money as they can now. But we digress. The
Yeah.
second point I wanted to make, well, just kind of just like dive into at least point in which just like so like in the event, let's just say our hopes and dreams come true and our student loans they are forgiven.
Mhm.
Kind of what Alif said. If we're just going to be put back into the same position if the next year we still have to pay out loans for the college the same amount for like the next year. So we're going to be put in the hole again. So it's kind of like what he was saying, like what's different does it really make?
Mhm.
I mean, like Rod said, yes, we're going to be freed up for a little bit, with especially the people that are out of school, but come 10 years, the same people behind us are going to be in the same hole as we were.
I think this if we were to put in a student loan forgiveness this time around, the generation that gets that student loan forgiveness will be able to will have the opportunity, because people still need to make smarter
What do you
financial.
Forgiving, working towards student loan forgiveness? Like, do you
Working towards?
Yeah,
that's what you're doing. You're talking about working off to pay it, or you're working off like what are you talking about?
Like, you make certain amount of payments, like you make 25%.
Like that's what we're doing currently?
Yeah, what do you think about a program?
Yeah, but you want
do that already.
So in other words, pay off this amount of money, not pay off the full loan?
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean.
Those same people that are talking about not getting will also be upset, and also that still doesn't defeat the issue. Take out a loan of
Say that you take $100,000 loan, right?
Yeah.
But they say like, hey, we'll forgive your loan, just pay $25,000.
Right now? Like instead of like offering
over time.
Like once you pay off that $25K, the other 75%, or once you pay off that $25K, the rest of your loan is forgiven. I think there's
no insurance company, there's no anything, any company that's going to go along with that.
No strings attached.
That's not going to happen. There's no way that's going to happen in this type of society.
So how do we get it? How do we get it paid off?
What if I told you that a program like that actually exists?
Oh my God, are you trying to recruit Speaks right now?
100%. 100%.
No.
What if I told you I could double your money? You just send me $100.
No, actually, no.
He's right though. There is certain policies in place, but I don't think for one, a lot of people will do that. And I don't also think that it's not as easy as you're going to make it sound.
Well, I still want to hear what Elif has to say.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. Let me just finish talking. I'm saying, like, what if a program actually does exist and it's not having to join the military or anything like that, and just, you work for, like, I don't know, some sort of public sector, like city level, state level, county level, or at a hospital or a nonprofit or something like that for a few years, and then, I don't know, like 5-10 years, and then your loan's forgiven.
That is true. So we do know that program, the public sector one. I think because that happened.
Federal loan forgiveness program.
Yes. Yep. So I think that came up last year, 2 years ago, when the 10-year mark came, and like no one got their loan forgiven. Like not to say that the policy was not put into place. It's just that like the government was not prepared at all to forgive everyone's loans, so it didn't happen.
Wow.
It's a good idea in theory. However, that's why I told you, I was like, I've heard of that. I think you probably have been the one to tell me that, to be honest.
I mean, some of my friends, this is like not my friends, but like colleagues and coworkers that are in that program, and it worked out for them. So now
here's the thing though, and here's where I think I don't know, because I'm not a professional, and I'm not too well versed in it. Now, when you do work at that public sector, is it in a job or something like that that's catered towards whatever you went to school in?
Yeah, like,
do you have a pick, or is it like, because the problem for that is like, yes, let's work here at this job or at this specific location. Maybe that company doesn't align with my views. Maybe it's a company or something that I don't want to do. And you're not making me, because I do have the right of choice, but
So we're talking about the government forgiving loans, right? So it's more of a program for you where you work for the government for.
Go ahead.
Because you work for the government for the X amount of years, because we're asking the government to forgive our loans.
I understand. And
So yeah, you can go work at a government job for however long you want. You choose whether you want to work for something you got your degree in or you don't. The stipulation is government job.
Exactly. So with that being said, why can't I just work somewhere else and have that same situation offered? It has to be government. So in a way, I'm still going to be paying whether it's through monetarily or my time in government. There shouldn't be you shouldn't force people, because it's not like, once again, I know that you're not being forced, but however, if you tell somebody this is how you're going to pay it off, you are having them choose to work at a place that they're maybe not necessarily wanting to work just to pay off something. And I still think that highlights.
I suppose just to counter that, I kind of support that system only because a lot of the public sector jobs are underfunded and not sought after. The greatest example is a public school teacher. Nobody goes to public school teacher for the money. Nobody. Yeah. They do it because they actually like what they do, And so in my mind, it kind of makes sense. The least we can do to make it enticing to become a teacher is to take out your loans for it,
or also or make sure teachers are getting proper payment, because I believe
yes. I mean, there's a lot of steps. I mean, like we said, the system is broken.
Yes,
we're trying to do a piecemeal solution. And another one is public defender. We have friends that are public defenders.
Everybody knows, but you became a lot louder.
Yeah, I thought it was my laptop. I was like, what is going on?
Really? Oh, my bad.
You were yelling at us, sir.
Yeah, my point made. But but yeah, so another example is public defenders. They're also part of the student loan forgiveness. And if you know a public defender, they will tell you how much work it is, how many hours of shit they have to go through to be a public defender.
Okay. And is there any other jobs?
It's a lot of work, but
is there any
after
other
10 years, my 100K of loans will be forgiven.
Okay. Yeah, but is there another job that's like that too?
Any government job. Any government job, any state, county, city, university, or Walnut.
Now I want to Chibs. You highlighted my point.
So yes, I just wanted to say that I'm saying that because the public sector needs more people in those positions.
I understand.
So that's why I put them in those programs. So in the private section, no, they don't have those programs a lot of the time, because that's what people are going towards. What people are going after. So why would it be incentivized to go there when there's a need in this sector?
If there's a necessity for people to be working in a specific sector, and the reason why there is a lack of people wanting to work there, more than likely it's because their financial, what they're getting paid is not worth it. So if you want people to work somewhere, make it competitive. Make it competitive in the sense of if you work here, you're going to be maybe it's not necessarily the best place to work, but at least you'll be paid properly.
It's hard to be competitive when it comes to government stuff, just because I never get into the weeds right now, but the way budgeting works with it's not by the market, by the capitalist market society. It's just the way people apportion them. Sometimes it's just
exactly
in corruption, because some people they're going to defund inner cities. There's nothing you can do about a shit poor teacher in downtown Detroit. There's no way to make their salaries more competitive just because they do not have the funding, because the government did not allocate that kind of money.
People have to be willing to vote to fund that.
Exactly. So I understand. So once again, I understand, but like I said, when I led with hearing about this program, I said, okay, well, if there's a way to do it, it definitely comes at a price. And it sounds like take this job that's maybe not necessarily the best, you're getting underpaid, all this other stuff. So you have somebody waste 10 extra years of your life because they don't want to pay off their loan.
I mean, depending on what you do, if you're a doctor for the government, you're still making six figures for sure.
Okay. But that's a specific. Okay. Anyways. Yeah, we're going to go around in circles. This is a reason why student loan forgiveness is important at this specific moment in time, because people will not have to look to.
I guess what I want to say is that you have to have both. If you want student loan forgiveness, then you have to fix the root cause of the system.
Agreed.
But, you can't have one without the other, because you're going to find yourself in the same situation again.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
And
I think
future generations, not only millennials, future generations are going to be eating avocado toast and
exactly
making TikTok dance, making TikTok.
You see how Excited over avocado toast.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So does anybody have a suggestion for policy in order to make this not happen?
Make
I
Jeff
just-
Bezos pay it.
I mean, I
Stop.
think that would lead into
Stop.
a combo.
Stop printing money. Stop printing money. Just
Stop
to print
printing money.
Stop printing money in order to
Just
print
print
money.
No,
Okay.
no. You guys don't understand the concept of just printing money just to print it.
That's what they're
Remember when Donald Trump said that when we were like going into a recession? Didn't he like make that? He's like, why don't we just print more money? Like that was like one of the first things he said, like after he got inaugurated. And that's when everybody was like, oh my God.
He's smart.
He's an idiot. He's
Okay,
an
so
absolute idiot.
wrapping things up, I think we're all on the same page. Student loan debt should be forgiven, but we really need to fix the way the system is, because the system is literally fucking us up left and right.
Period.
Period.
Okay. Well,
Well,
yeah.
and just letting you know, for anybody that is also a Laker fan, the Lakers have now picked up Marc Gasol for a second.
Hey, let's
Yeah,
go,
of
Laker
course.
Nation, baby, back to
Yeah,
back.
Touchdown.
If you're listening to this thus far and you're a Clipper fan, you shouldn't have listened at all. Fuck the Clippers. If you're listening to this, we appreciate y'all. Take on the Chabuzo Christmas Challenge and become a donator of our Patreon, guys. We need that money. If you guys want merch, you guys want cute stuff for Christmas, like hit up and sponsor the pod, because that really helps us push the merch out. It helps us push these events that we're planning post-COVID and like really help to get connected to not only you, but your wallets. So we appreciate all the donations. And we
I'm going to say it again.
listening.
Like I said last time, I'm going to put pressure on all y'all too. Rod, Team, Speaks, Leaf. Find your significant other, your siblings, your mama, your aunt, your dogs. I don't know. But ask one of them to donate $1, $5. Their savings accounts. I don't care, but sponsor the pod.
Yes.
I love this song. This is a good song.
Yes,
Yes.
turn that up. Turn it up.
Turn it up. All right, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. We appreciate y'all if you're listening from wherever. Peace out, Millennial Minute. We love y'all.
Bye.
Peace.